I'm Anastasia, a fashion designer with over 20 years of experience and a sewing educator, and I'm really excited you're here to share another sewing adventure with me today. Welcome to Sew Anastasia, and today we are going to turn this ugly dress into something super cute. So I thrifted the dress. I love the print on it. I think the print is adorable, but the silhouette is not cutting it for me. It's to the floor, it's long sleeves, and it's up to my neck, and I feel like I'm drowning in it. Not to mention, I'm extremely hot in this dress because it is all polyester. So let's tailor it up, let's drop the neckline, let's shorten the hem, let's give it a cute shorter sleeve, and then we can actually wear it. This dress is a part of Upcycling September, where I'm taking 30 different outfits and transforming them in 30 days. So 30 new looks in 30 days. What? So cool. You can follow this adventure on Instagram at #UpcyclingSeptember. I'll be posting my new outfit that I'm creating every single day. But if you're just following along on YouTube, I'll be putting out 2 YouTube videos every week on my upcycling projects. Also, follow along on my Instagram, Sew Anastasia. If you're not already a subscriber to Sew Anastasia, make sure you subscribe and hit that notification bell so you know when all the new videos come out. And if you're already following Sew Anastasia, thank you so much for following my sewing adventures. The first thing we're gonna do is put the dress inside out on the dress form so that way we can pin up the sides so we know how much to take it in. If you don't have a dress form, no worries. Go ahead and put this on yourself and pin it up on the sides or wherever your style lines are on your garment and use the mirror. I've already seam ripped open this dress on the side seams, so I'm gonna pull the front and the back together at the side of the dress form and take my pin and go in and then back out. I'm gonna work my way all the way down the dress and up to the armpit. Okay, so I've pinned from the armpit all the way down the side to where I'm going to be hemming it. So we only need to do one side because we can transfer the markings that we create to the other side to make sure it's going to fit the same on both sides. So I'm also going to be lowering the neckline on this dress because the collar is all kind of like vintage and nasty looking and yellowing. So we're gonna drop it, give it a new modern look. And I want to put it about here, so I'm going to put a pin here, and then when I take the dress off, I can draw in my new neckline with a chalk and a ruler to make it nice and smooth. Next, we're going to mark with chalk right where the pins are, so that way we know where to sew when we're taking in the dress. So we're going to go through and mark where all of the pins are, so that way we have a line to follow when we're sewing. And we only need to mark one side because we're going to have only one side face up while we're sewing. And then if you want, you can take these out and we can connect them with a ruler. And now you can kind of see the line that we're creating, connecting the dots where the pins were. There we go. Next, we're gonna chalk the neckline since we're already chalking the side seam. So grab a French curve and some chalk and let's draw our new neckline. I'm gonna do a curved neckline. So I'm gonna place the bottom of my French curve with that pin and just draw straight up into the shoulder, about 2 inches over from the tip of the shoulder. So I'm really gonna open up this neckline here. And we only need to mark one side because we can cut it and then flip it over to make sure it ends up symmetrical. So you can see my new neckline right here. So we want to continue our neckline all the way to the back. I'm gonna open up the back as well. So if my chalk line on the front is right about here, I'm going to take my curved ruler and I'm basically gonna follow this facing that's on here. So we're just gonna follow the edge of this facing and connect it with that line at the shoulder. And now I have a new line to cut for my back neckline. I didn't make the scoop on the back neck as low on the front neck, but you totally could. That's the fun part about upcycling and creating your own clothes. You have creative freedom. So now let's grab some scissors and chop off that neckline. I'm gonna start at the back and I'm actually gonna chop right through the zipper, which you can totally do as long as your zipper is unzipped. So let's do it. Once I get to the shoulder, I'm gonna flip it around to the front. I'm following that blue chalk line that I have on my dress. Okay, now that we have half of it cut off, we're gonna take it and flip it over. So that way we cut off the exact same amount on the other side. So we're gonna fold it at center front. And I'm going to put some pins in it. Once you have it lined up, you can start cutting. Voila! We no longer have a high neck. There's our collar right here. So you can see that we have a new lower neckline, and we know that it's symmetrical because whatever I cut here, I folded it over on the other side and used it as a pattern. So I was gonna cut off the sleeves nice and short. The more I think about it, I'm thinking if the dress is short and the neckline's low, maybe a tight long sleeve would look really cute for this dress. So I'm going to leave the long sleeve right now, and we're gonna take in the sides and try it on, and we're gonna see if we wanna chop that sleeve off or not. So let's head over to the sewing machine and sew these side seams up. But before we head over to the sewing machine, make sure you also chalk the other side seam of your dress, and you can go ahead and use the same process I used on the neckline, where we cut it off and we fold it over and we make sure we're cutting off the exact same amount on the other side. Or if you don't want to cut it off yet, go ahead and just make sure you're chalking the exact same amount on the other side. So I'm going to be taking in the side seam of the dress here with a straight stitch. You'll notice that I'm following the chalk line that I drew. Backstitch at the end and cut. Now go ahead and do the exact same thing to the other side. Now that we have the dress taken in, let's try it on and see how we like the long sleeves and how short we want to make it. So here's our progress so far. We have an open neck, and I'm kind of loving the long sleeve, so I think I'm going to keep it because I'm liking it with the proportion of having the shorter skirt. So I'm gonna make sure we hem it about this short, right to my fingertips. So I'm gonna drop the length and I'm gonna put a pin right where my fingertips are. So I'm gonna go ahead, put my hand at my side, and put a pin right there at my fingertips because that's where I want my finished length to be. So imagine getting rid of all this extra fabric at the bottom and keeping the long sleeve. It's time to chop off all that fabric on the bottom. So grab your rotary cutting tool and let's do it. So I've added an extra ½ inch to the hem so that way I can fold it up when I'm sewing. So let's go ahead and just chop off all the way across the dress. Check that out. It's shorter now, no going back. We only have a few things left to finish on this dress before the transformation is complete. Next, I'm gonna serge off all the extra fabric on the side seams. So you can see we have all of this extra fabric here, and we don't need this hanging out inside the dress. So I'm gonna run it through the serger and cut off all the extra while I serge it. If you don't have a serger, don't worry about it. You can totally cut off the extra and then just finish the edges with a zigzag or an overcast stitch. Now we have everything serged, so we're going to hem it. I'm gonna flip it up a ½ inch and just do a straight stitch all the way around the bottom. This is called a single folded hem. Backstitch and cut. The hem turned out great. Lastly, we're going to finish the neckline. We're going to create a bias facing for the neckline. To create a bias facing for the neckline, we're going to sew on our bias tape, and then we're gonna end up flipping it to the inside and sewing it down, so that way there's a nice finished edge on the inside and the outside's nice and turned over and finished as well. If you don't know how to create a bias facing and you need a really detailed explanation, make sure you check out my video on how to create a bias facing for a neckline. When we're doing this with an invisible zipper, we want to make sure that the invisible zipper is flipped inward. And make sure you're leaving a little extra on the outside so we can go back and finish that after. And we're finished. We did it! We finished the dress. It is upcycled into something super, super cute now. I just love it. So let's try it on and see how it looks. Check it out. It is so much shorter. It fits. We don't have a neckline up to my neck. We have a little bit of chest now. And it's just so cute. So much better than what it was before, if you ask me. I feel like we really captured the essence of what this dress was in the 60s without completely losing it. We still have this nice long sleeve with the cute little cuff. We still have this super fun print, and it still fits and it flares out. We're really just missing all the drab, the length, the highness up to the neck. So we just made it super cute. We saved it. Thanks so much for watching my video today on upcycling this cute vintage dress. If you have any questions or comments, leave them down below and I'll get back with you as soon as I can. If you enjoyed the video, make sure you give it a thumbs up, give it some applause, and make sure you tag your upcycles Upcycling September, so that way I can check out all your upcycles and share them with everyone else. And don't forget to follow Anastasia on Instagram so you can see the upcycles that I create every single day this September. 30 upcycles in 30 days. Yes, it is a sewing adventure. And don't forget, if you want to take a sewing class with me, my design studio, you totally can. And you can sign up at sewanastasia.com. Thanks so much for watching. Bye!